slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness.
G'day everyone, I'm Dave and this is 611 Garage. Thanks for tuning into another episode. On this one we give away a little remote control WPL D12 drift truck, which you can see sitting up on top of the ute out there. We also run you through a whole heap of updates that we've been doing on the interior. It's been a bit of a DIY update to the interior. Some of you guys are going to love it, some of you guys are going to hate it, but I can assure you it's different than anything you've probably seen before. So jump on board, sit back, relax. We'll run you through a quick video and show you what we've been doing. Now, let's get into this interior and show you what we've been up to. Right. Still not 100% complete, but we're getting there. So start off with these door cards and just have to step back a bit so you can see them there. Yeah, you might remember, but this car was a full POV pack executive model with a bench seat and totally clapped out interior, holes in the carpet, fully worn out, and the door trims basically had nothing on them. Even the little cloth insert you couldn't pull out, it was molded into the vinyl. So some DIY upgrades on it. We've got here is a VS Calais insert in leather, which I've just painted with some vinyl paint, and a little bit of a suede Alcantara look insert there. That was a wooden trim on the Calais. The door cards obviously changed from the typical light grey to black, with some grey, charcoal grey highlights as well. Window winder, that's grey as well. All the window vents, they are a little bit of a pain as well, but if we get up a bit closer, you can see the detail I've left there with showing the vents open or closed as well, but fully painted in the vinyl spray. Speaker pods on the driver's side, because it was a POV pack with a bench seat, it didn't actually have the full mat pocket either, so upgraded that at the same time on the driver's side. Still got to get some carpet to install down here, so I've got the carpet sitting in the shed, just need to get some time to actually install that as well. Now, as for the interior, got a bit of sun glare on my camera here, so hopefully Alex will just zoom out a bit. I've just jumped over to the driver's side because the sun glare was a bit too much on the passenger side, but should mention just the door locks here. So these are just the original ones painted, but we got the new little orange, I think they're called snibs on there, because as you guys know who have Commodores, they're faded and have a tendency to do that. You've got some new door seals here all around. Got completely black ones as well to match the interior. So I'm not 100% convinced on them at the moment. The doors are really tight to close right now, so I'm hoping they wear in a little bit, which I'm sure they will after time, but I'll hold my judgment on whether they're any good or not for the time being. And you can see down there we've got black carpet. That's Tru Fit, which is the one-piece carpet. They're the only ones in Australia that I'm aware of that do a full one-piece for the ute. I didn't want that ugly seam that you get with the two-piece ones that runs down the middle. So, and that's just a black plush pile. They're a little bit dirty because I've been jumping in and out of the car at the moment, but you get the idea. The fit was really good. The quality of them's fantastic. The only thing I'd say to you is if you're planning on ordering from them, make sure you give them plenty of lead time. It's about 6 weeks from time of purchase to delivery, but once they did arrive, super happy with the quality of them. Now, the obvious thing that you're seeing in there is the seats, and this is the part where I reckon you either love it or hate it. I wanted to do something different. I had some VX SS seats ready to put in them, but I decided not to go ahead with the VX SS seats because they needed a retrim, and after talking to a couple of trimmers, it was going to cost me about $3,000 to install them, or to get them retrimmed. And then they still needed some rail adjustments, so I ended up buying these. They're an Autotechnia seat based off of the Scheel, if I've said that right. I think it's called pronounced Scheel seats originally, and it was about half the cost to do these with some adapter rails and everything ready to go. And it's something totally different. I don't think I've ever seen a VS Ute with these in them at the moment. So hopefully some of you guys like them. I get it, it's not everyone's personal taste, but I think with the black, it works and adds a bit of a highlight. I will add some other little highlights to the car later on that will help that blend in as well, and you'll see those in an upcoming episode. But a few other small details is we've got brand new seat belts as well. They're from APV. The old ones were light grey and pretty knackered, so just decided to get brand new ones. The centre console is all been repainted up. Also, you see that actually feels quite nice because I've re-insulated that. New gear boot. That gear knob is just a cheap one I've got on at the moment, which will change over at some point. Stereo is missing, so that's the next thing. I've got the stereo. Just haven't put it in yet. I think we featured the MOMO wheel on a previous episode, but that's now installed properly as well. The horn's not working at the moment, so I still need to get that fixed, which I think is to do with the little spring in there isn't touching the horn ring properly. So I need to get that sorted before I get it on the road. And then you can see pretty much everything else is just been updated, painted black, etc. Worth mentioning, because this is again POV pack Ute with a bench seat. Normally these have a cutout on this side seal step for the handbrake. So I ended up buying a sedan one from the wrecker and cutting that down. You'll note there's a few little scratches in that on the black plastic. I'm not worried about those. And that was just more me just bumping things and that as I was installing it. So I'll tidy those all up at some point as well. We've also got this new badge installed, which you wouldn't have seen on too many of these Commodores, and definitely not on a VS Ute before. But the seats are only part of it, and this badge is part of it. But we're doing a bit of a tribute to a vacationer, which they never made in a Ute. They did make a wagon and a sedan in the VS, but never a Ute. So we thought we'd do something different, and we've got some other parts on their way ready for that as well. So looking forward to that. But we're getting close, getting really close to being done and getting excited to get this on the road. So, sorry to keep you guys waiting on this one. It's been a couple of months since I first announced the giveaway, and been a bit slow on progress on the Ute, but here we are, ready to give it away. So, I want to say a big congratulations to Chris Marr 96U. You followed along for a while now, and so it's pleased to pull you out as a random selection, and hope you enjoy this little drift truck. All you need to do, just hit me up on Instagram, 611 Garage page, exchange details, and I'll get that sent out to you. So put your details up on screen just in case you missed it. But Chris Marr, 96U, it's all yours. So enjoy. Hope you love it. And just for those who aren't familiar with it, just spin it around quickly so you can have a quick look. It's a WPL D12 1/10 scale, which spent a bit of time customizing, full custom paint in coral blue with the metallic flake, alloy line tray, some drift wheels, which again custom painted, custom grille, little Suzuki badging on it, and same on the rear, Suzuki badges there. So all the electronics are completely stock on it at the moment, ready for you to upgrade if you want to. Otherwise, it should drift nicely as it is. And so I forgot to mention full custom body kit as well. So hope you love it. Hope you have some fun with it. Enjoy. So there's not too much left to do to get this one back on the road and registered. So do a little quick walk around and just show you what I've got left to finish off before I do register it. Just some basic stuff. One of the rear reverse lights, I think, on this driver's side isn't working at the moment, so it's probably just a globe, but just need to get in there, have a look. I'm missing a little cover over the bolt on the bumperette there, so I've got one painted, but it doesn't have the little slots that slot in there, so I may end up buying a new one so it clips on better. Otherwise, I'll end up having to use a bit of silicone to silicone that on. The tray's got filthy over time, so I'll probably give that another coat of Raptor liner as well. The fuel tank underneath that cover there isn't bolted in properly at the moment. It's all working. Just got to open it up and actually bolt it in, so very minor. This plastic here on the pillar is actually just broken and flapping around at the moment, so need to fix that. As mentioned, the horn before, that needs to be fixed and working. If we come around on this side, and sorry, the terrible camera angles, just getting used to a new gimbal I've got. But you can see it's got the standard cop rims on it, so got the other Walkinshaws in the shed, so just need to bolt those on. A bit of tidying up where some buffing compound and stuff has been left over, and a few little marks and things like that. At some point I'll probably paint the bonnet as well, because it's got a whole heap of stone chips and things like that. It is missing the wipers at the moment and the cowl, so they have to go back on. If I pop the bonnet and confess some of my sins here. So first of all, you can see it just needs that plastic piece put on along there before I bolt the wipers back on as well, and we'll clean up under there first. But here we go, confessing sins. At one point ages ago, when I was welding up some holes on the inner guards, I think this must have had an alarm system or something installed and down here, and I thought, oh, well, before I paint the inner guards, I'll just weld up all the holes. Didn't think to check what was on the other side of those holes, and so then next thing I know, there was some flames coming out from under the bonnet, which, if we get the gimbal to work, you can see some nice little charring under the bonnet there. Gave me a bit of a fright because all the cables had caught on fire, so I've replaced about half of them. You can see some of the wires that are brighter there. I've still got a few of the earth cables to tidy up, which have melted through, but everything's working at the moment. And I did replace this little fuse box here, but the end of it's melted, so I need just a new cover for that too. And then just a general service, put that stereo in like I mentioned before, and then at some point we'll get to this other hole on this side and paint those up properly and just give it a general tidy up and a service. And we don't get around this side of the ute much, but as we've got a bit of a sunny day, I managed to hose it off today, so I'll just show you that as well. All pretty straight and neat. It's got a few little things to tidy up. Is just down here where I put the SS skirt on. Some of the, can't remember what it was, but essentially glue sealant is poking through, so I need to clean that up so it looks a bit neater. And I'll just show you that, what I'm talking about these door seals while I can as well, about how tight they are, which some of you guys might have some advice. I've tried moving the latches, strikers. That didn't do much, but if you close it what I'd consider a pretty normal close, it leaves it open, leaves it sticking out the top. So to get it actually closed at the moment, you need a pretty hard swing to get it done, and the driver's side's probably actually a little bit worse than that as well. So if you guys have got any ideas on what I can do, whether it is just the seals need bedding in, etc., let me know, because I tried a few things and so far haven't had much luck. So any advice you can offer would be appreciated. I was just about to say that was pretty much it for the updates, but I do have a little bit more to do on the interior too, is just behind the seats. I just need to install some carpet behind there as well. And if I didn't mention it in a previous episode, we also did the headlining, replaced that with a brand new one. The A-pillars, the plastics on the A-pillars, been replaced with new ones and painted as well. So I just give you a quick scan around the interior, and I'll tell you a little bit about why and how we came to doing this, because I'd probably never do it again. And whilst I think it looks all right, and it's come up okay, it was an absolute pain in the ass, to be honest. There's so many little plastic bits that needed to be dyed and painted, and that it took forever, because I was trying to be really detailed. So things like these vents, aircon vents, when you pull them apart, there's probably, I'm guessing, but somewhere between half a dozen and a dozen little bits to them that all need to be painted individually before being put back together, and that's just one bit. And then during winter, it's not the best time to be doing that sort of stuff. But the reason why I ended up going down this path is about 10 years ago. I took this dash out to fix the heater core, and that's when the car came off the road, because while the dash was out, I had a bright idea and thought I didn't really like the light grey interior. I'll paint the dash black. Once I had the dash black, I thought, well, now I've got to paint everything else as well to make it match, which meant the center console, which meant all the door trims, which meant changing carpet, and turned into a much bigger job than I ever anticipated. I'm happy that she's mostly together now, but would I do it again? Probably not. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it if I had to start with this car again. I'd keep the standard grey interior. I'd probably even keep the bench seat, although I'm not massively keen on the bench seat in that they've got the gear stick right down between the middle seat, which be a little bit suspect if you're changing gears with someone sitting in that middle seat. But now that it's done, or almost done, reasonably happy with the outcome. Seats are comfortable enough. There's a few reviews on these seats online with different people saying different things. They do sit a little bit higher than the stock seats just because of the adapters, which, depending on your height, on about 6'2", and that probably sits a bit too high from where I'd usually like it to be. But it's certainly not uncomfortable to sit in. The foam cushioning's fine. I didn't have an issue with it. There's some people online saying they're too firm, too hard, but I don't think it was bad at all, especially for a weekend cruiser when you might spend an hour here or an hour there in it. So if you're thinking about them for your car, I think they're a really good, cheap alternative to re-trimming, and you still get then something that looks new and neat and tidy. Anyway, guys, I've rabbited on enough. Time to stop talking. Leave you guys to it. Congrats again to Chris Marr, 96U. Oops, messed up the gimbal there on your win on that little drift truck. I hope you love it. Just flick us that message on Instagram, and we'll get in touch and send that out to you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It means heaps to me, or just add a comment. Happy to hear any comments, whether they're positive, negative, whatever. If you've got anything you can teach me about these door seals that might help me get them to close a bit better, let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback and any ideas that you've got. And next episode, we're not going to be far off getting it on the road. So not sure if we'll do an episode about just the general engine service, putting on the other wheels, or whether we'll just actually get it on the road and take you guys for its first drive in, must be getting close to 15 years now, so getting exciting. Thanks again, guys. See you in the next one.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough,